At 65 years old, most people are done. They're thinking about retirement, slowing down, and what they should have done differently. Colonel Sanders was thinking about one thing: how to start over. He was broke, living on a small government check. His business had failed, and almost every restaurant he walked into told him no. Not once or twice, over and over again. This wasn't the beginning of his story. It was almost the end, before the white suit, logo, and the face everyone recognizes. Colonel Sanders was tired. Not tired in a dramatic way, just worn down by a long life that hadn't turned out the way he hoped. By the time most people think about slowing down, he was starting over again. Harlan Sanders didn't grow up with options. His father died when he was very young. His mother had to work long hours to survive. So Sanders learned to cook early, not because he loved it, but because someone had to feed the family. That was his first lesson in work, not passion or responsibility. His adult life followed the same pattern. He didn't build a career. He bounced between jobs: farmhand, railroad worker, streetcar conductor, insurance salesman. Some jobs ended badly, while some ended suddenly. Some he walked away from. There was no upward trajectory, just motion. By middle age, Sanders wasn't chasing dreams. He was chasing stability. Eventually, he opened a small service station in Kentucky. It wasn't impressive, but it was his. People stopped there for gas. While they waited, Sanders cooked meals in the back. Simple food, filling food, chicken. People liked it, not in a viral way, in a word-of-mouth way. Drivers told other drivers. Locals came back, and slowly, a restaurant grew out of the station. For once, things were steady. Sanders even received an honorary title from the state of Kentucky. Colonel. It sounded important, but it didn't change his life. And stability didn't last. A new highway was built. Traffic moved away from his location. Customers disappeared almost overnight. The restaurant collapsed. Years of work were erased by a decision he had no control over. By his mid-60s, Sanders had nothing left. No business, no savings, just a small government check that barely covered expenses. Most people would have accepted the message that life had passed them by, that this was the quiet ending. Sanders didn't see it that way, not because he was optimistic, because he was practical. He still had one thing people wanted: his chicken. Instead of opening another restaurant, he made a different choice. He decided not to sell food. He decided to sell the recipe. He drove from restaurant to restaurant, walked in unannounced, cooked his chicken for the owners, and made a simple offer: use my recipe. Pay me a small fee per piece sold. That was it. No brand. No guarantees. The answer was usually no. Sometimes polite. Sometimes dismissive. Some laughed. Some didn't take him seriously. He was old, out of fashion, out of place. And he kept going. He slept in his car, drove long distances, paid for gas with what little money he had. And every rejection sounded the same. This won't work. People like to repeat the number. Hundreds of rejections. Some say over 1,000. The exact number doesn't matter. What matters is that there were enough NOs to stop anyone. And they didn't stop him. Eventually, someone said yes. Then another. Not because Sanders changed, but because the right people tasted the chicken. Slowly, the idea spread. Restaurants started calling back. The recipe moved from kitchen to kitchen. The name stuck: Kentucky Fried Chicken. By the time KFC became a national brand, Sanders was already old. He wasn't chasing youth. He wasn't chasing trends. He was finally standing on something solid. The strange part is this: the thing that changed his life wasn't new. It was something he had known how to do since childhood: cooking. It just took most of his life for the moment to arrive. Colonel Sanders didn't succeed because he started early. He succeeded because he refused to stop. Age didn't defeat him. Time didn't work against him. Quitting would have. And that's the uncomfortable truth in this story. Too late is often just what exhaustion sounds like. Sanders kept going when stopping would have made sense. And that decision changed everything. That was the finish line. Not fame, not fast success. Starting again, when most people would have quietly walked away.